choose to cruise.
She begged to live.
We requested for termination again and again, but we were told, the law there wouldn't permit.
Why was the woman's assessment of
she
her
denied?
condition not taken seriously?
Many people are calling it murder. That possible racism in the response of the hospital staff to this lady cannot be ruled out.
No medical specialist has said that Ireland's ban on abortion led to the tragic death of this woman.
Willfully, the doctors knew they were exposing Savita to this risk. Why did they do that?
Why did they force her to die? Justice for Savita, a Times Now campaign.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on this very special effort here on Times Now as we raise the pitch in our campaign calling for justice for Savita. 31-year-old Savita Halappanavar begged for life, but all she was granted by doctors treating her in Ireland was death. Whether it is an archaic law of a Catholic nation or sheer callousness and negligence of the doctors attending to her, Savita's death has resulted in global outrage. From Delhi to Dublin, angry protesters have taken to the streets, and with the Indian government now stepping in, every single step of the dual probe ordered by the Irish authorities will be carefully watched and monitored. The demand is justice for Savita. And India, it's time for you to speak up in support of Savita Halappanavar. We are taking your calls here. We are also expecting Ranjana Kumari, social activist, to join us in just a bit. Also, our correspondents, National Affairs Editor Srinjoy Chaudhary, and of course Madhav joining us, Madhav from Bangalore, Srinjoy joining us from Delhi. With all the developments that's taking place, with the government stepping in, Srinjoy will be throwing light on what the External Affairs Ministry is going to be doing. And Madhav is keeping close tabs on the developments on the family front of Savita, and also with the protesters taking to the streets across India and across the globe, be it London, New Delhi or Dublin. There is protest demanding, there is processions demanding justice for Savita and also for the removal of an archaic law. And even before we take your calls, this is a reaction coming in from Savita's father, who's demanding justice for his 31-year-old daughter.
As a father now, what are your expectations from the Indian government?
I expect Indian government to build pressure on Ireland government regarding the banning of the abortion law.
Somebody from the Indian government here, from the Ministry of External Affairs, contacted you asking details of what really happened before the unfortunate incident.
Nobody has contacted us till today.
Have you tried contacting anybody?
No, I have also, since we are in shock up till now, we have also not contacted any Indian embassy or any personals.
What would you do on your part to make sure that such instances are not repeated again in the future?
Definitely, my son-in-law is today evening, he is going to Ireland, and also we will participate in such activities so that the Irish government should change the law regarding abolition.
Even as Savita's death has become a rallying point for pro-life abortion activists across the world, her parents here in Belgaum are still trying to come to terms with the death of their only daughter. Speaking to Times Now, Savita's parents requested the Indian government to put more pressure on the Irish government to possibly relax the abortion laws that could save many lives. Pooja Prasanna in Belgaum for Times Now.
We are taking your calls here on Times Now, asking you to raise the pitch and join us in our campaign demanding justice for Savita. S. Raghunathan calling us from Chennai. Good evening, Mr. Raghunathan. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Mr. Anand Narasimhan. See, this is sheer racism. And according to your reports, that even the terms of reference have not been filed and they have not referred anything to anybody. And that itself speaks for clear racism by the government of Ireland. It is high time that, all the governments ban Irish people, and they should be punished for this.
Thanks for calling in, Mr. Raghunathan. Yes, we are getting to understand that there will be terms of inference that will be shared, reference will be shared, but we don't know whether these are just empty assurances coming from the Irish authorities. Madhav Das joining us live from Bangalore. Madhav, what's happening at your end? People are getting out on the streets, and the protests are just only growing. The outrage grows against the treatment that's been meted out to Savita, isn't it?
Absolutely, this particular protest being conducted by Youth Congress workers, as you can see, they brought out a huge number of banners really saying that as far as human life is concerned, it's the greatest gift of God, and in the name of religion, one cannot ignore it to save a human being. That is as far as these protesters are concerned. Let's just speak to some of the people here and just get a sense from them as to what the reason for this protest is. Tell us exactly what is the message that you're trying to convey with this candlelight vigil over here.
Today is a shameful day for the whole of the doctors' fraternity throughout the world. They have to hang their face in disgrace because today they have committed one of the modern mistake of medical misjudgment. It is a crime. They have been a killer instead of saving a life. Doctors take an oath by saying that they would save a patient's life. They have deliberately, knowingly, they have killed Savita Halapa, who was dying on the bed and begging for her life. We can clearly say they have put her on the deathbed. They have not attended it. They, in the name of religion and saying the legislation has been not passed for the last 20 years, that doesn't mean a value of a human being should be thrown away in such a manner.
What are you demanding now? What is it that you would like to see done?
I would like to appreciate the central government by calling the ambassador for Irish government and voicing their voice what the Indians are feeling. I feel this type of incident should never happen in any country or any woman. Every woman who would like to, our ambition is to get a motherhood which is being destroyed by the Irish government. I think this should be protested all over the world.
You can see it's quite clearly emotions running very high, saying that as far as they are concerned, they would like to see the Indian government take up the issue more formally with the Irish government at this candlelight vigil over here that has been organized. Quite clearly, sentiments in Bangalore are really, of course, against really what doctors over there have done in Ireland as far as Savita Halappanavar's case is concerned.
Madhav, stay on with us. We'll urge you to try and get more people to speak up here on Times Now around you, even as we are bringing you visuals of protests from all across the country and also all across the globe. Very good evening to Ranjana Kumari, social activist, joining us live. Your first thoughts on this entire matter, madam, because Savita was a doctor. She was a dentist. She begged and she pleaded along with her husband that her life be saved. They abort the child, but the Irish doctors didn't. How would you read into what would have transpired and what could have transpired and why such a treatment was handed out?
Well, I think Irish doctors did not want to take risk because the law which in fact talks about protecting the life of the mother is so vague that doctor did not want to risk, and he didn't want to really take any action which will put him into jail or any kind of punishment by the government. So basically it is the law, because in 1967 the law was changed and British government had the law which was supposed
Madam, I'll come back to you in just a bit. We'll just go back to those protests in Bangalore. There is people have taken to the streets. Madhav is there. Madhav, you have more people around you who are speaking up and speaking out.
Yes, well, quite clearly as far as the persons here are concerned, are certainly, of course, concerned about this entire issue. As you can see, candlelight vigil that is on over here at the Gandhi statue over here. Very clearly, what all of these protesters have been saying is that they want to see the government take up this issue. Quite clearly, of course, as far as the doctors are concerned, not living up to their Hippocratic oath of actually saving human lives. And in this case, certainly a huge violation of that. Let's just ask some of the ladies who are gathered here as well. Madam, why are you protesting over here? Can you tell us what is the reason for this protest?
Actually, we are condemning in the name of Dharma, they are doing, actually she is not died. They only murdered. So indirectly the doctors of Ireland, they are murdering the ladies. So we are condemning that and we are praying to give peace to our soul. Yeah, it should be avoided because they are waiting for the breath of the baby and they murdered the main mother. Actually, it's very indirectly they murdered Savita.
What do you have to say, sir, about this issue? What should the government do?
The government should ashamed themselves because they should not play on life of human beings. This is really, you are feeling very bad. They should change the law
that should helpful to human beings. Right. So quite clearly, all of these protesters saying that as far as they are concerned, they feel that the doctors could have certainly acted in a manner to help Savita, and really that's something that they are ashamed of. They want to ensure that the government of Ireland sees to it that this sort of incident does not happen with other persons at any point of time again.
Madhav, I'll come back to you in just a bit. We have Seema, who's Savita's childhood friend, joining us on the phone from Mumbai. Yes, Seema.
Hi, it's been really a very, I know I'm following your story since yesterday. It's been really bad with her, what happened. What I feel, you have to sue the hospital who's just not ignored her life just to save the fetus which is not alive. And which is really not, it's wrong. And I'm really hurt, and I don't know if you want me to, what you all are doing is really a great thing. You all are supporting Savita and her family to come out of this stress. I'm really grateful for you guys, but I just feel that Irish government should understand and try to implement people's life first instead of putting the fetus which is not born. They have just given a stake of her life to save the fetus.
Right. Seema, thanks for calling in. Let's go back to Madhav once again. Madhav, what's happening down around you? People have taken to the streets. We heard you speak to some of the people who have come out in protest and demanding justice for Savita.
Yes, in fact, let's just go across to some more of the persons who are gathered over here. Let's just ask them exactly what their views on this entire subject are. We spoke to you a little while earlier. You were telling us that, you demanded that the government, really, the Indian government should take up this issue with the government of Ireland to see that not just foreigners but other persons also don't go through this.
Exactly, sir. And it's I thought I should congratulate the government. They acted very fast, and already Minister of External Affairs have called the Irish ambassador to the South Bloc. At 3:30 there was a meeting. That itself shows that the big Indian government has voiced this concern, and they are very concerned about the Indian residents living around all over the world. And I think they have done the right thing, and we appreciate this thing.
Sir, what do you have to say about this issue exactly? What is the issue that has brought so many people over here today?
No, to make our Shraddhanjali, to make our ಆತ್ಮ ಅವರು ಶಿರ್ಶಾಂತಿಯಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಆ ಎಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. We are all assembled here to hesitate. What they have done is very, very bad. They should have abortioned her, and they should have given all kind of treatment. She was not a Catholic, she was a Hindu, and in spite of that, every rule has got exemption, every rule has got some relaxation. So in spite of that, the doctor has not adhered to her request. She has requested so many times, I say I am going to die, without the abortion I am going to die. She told many times, she pleaded her, she kneeled her. In spite of that, the hospital in the Ireland has refused to abortion her, and she has died. It's almost, I can say it's a murder of a lady. It's a very, very bad, very sin what they have done. They should I think it's the whole world has to condemn this. Whole world is condemning this, and we are also condemn this very seriously, very badly. And we are here to condole the death of her, and also our Atma should be always be.
The demand that the law should be changed in Ireland. The movement is going on. So are you also demanding that?
We are very, very seriously demanding the Irish government to change the law. This is a blind law. They should change it, and they should this kind of things should not be repeated anywhere in the world. They should always the doctor work is to save the patient. That is their work. Whatever happens, she has to save her. They have thoroughly failed in their duty. That's what I want to express, sir.
Also, there are inquiries on over there. Would like to see some action being taken on the doctors.
Yes, they should. They should suspend her. They should suspend. They give a lot of punishment. Whatever the punishment in the country, they should always make it. This is very sad, and I only wish that her heart should be rest in peace.
So there you can see it, large number of angry residents, members of the Youth Congress really who are protesting at this point of time over here in Bangalore, all really raising the issue that the government, not just of India but the government of Ireland should take cognizance of this and try and see that laws relating to this entire issue are suitably amended to ensure that this does not take place with any other citizen, as well as action be taken really against all those doctors who are really responsible for this inaction that led to Savita's eventual death.
No, Madhav, you have to go back to those protesters and tell them that this is the latest that we are getting across. We are trying to given to understand that the Irish authorities seem to be buying time because they have not yet contacted Savita's husband. They are saying they're going to conduct an inquiry, but they're going to set up new terms for an international inquiry and they're going to reveal that tomorrow. It looks like they're trying to dodge the entire matter and try and skirt the issue or delay using the employed delaying tactics. You have to ask them, ask the people around, how would they react to this behavior and this response that's coming across from the Irish authorities?
Right. One question, sir, is that now, you already know that there are several inquiries that are on into this entire matter. Now, already the Irish government seems to be buying time, saying that one more international inquiry will be ordered into this matter tomorrow. They only seem to be buying time rather than taking action. What do you say about this?
No, it is very clearly evident that it is not negligence, it's a murder which has been done by the Irish doctors. I think they should be booked. They should be booked and there should be a certain example throughout the world that this incident or any woman should not fall into this type of situation and lose their precious life. We can see Praveen, her husband, pleading with the doctors, repeatedly has been pleaded and they have not had any humanity. I don't think so. They are called as doctors, they are killers.
What sort of action would you like to see the government taking of Ireland? Because they seem to be delaying the action is what it seems like at this point of time. Rather than taking action, there's already 2 inquiries, saying that another third international inquiry into the matter should be taken. How do you look at this delayed action really as far as Ireland government is concerned?
As we know that Ireland law is very tough. So when it is tough, even when it has taken 20 years for the same legislation to be passed in their parliament, I think when the law is very strict, I think the most severe punishment should be given to them, and a speedy trial should be done, and the culprit doctors, the culprit killer doctors should be booked.
Right. Also, do you think that this inquiry, that has been ordered, should avoid really this entire process of getting into, 2 domestic inquiries, 1 international inquiry? All of this bureaucratic red tape should be cut out. Is that what you would say?
Absolutely. It should be a single-track inquiry, a joint inquiry by the thing, and a speedy trial should be given for this.
Also, let's just speak to some of the other persons there. Madam, as far as you are concerned, as far as this entire inquiry, already 2 inquiries are there into this matter, another international inquiry being ordered by the government. Do you think that they're just buying time rather than taking quick action to this issue? What did you say?
Yeah, we think so. If not, we will protest. Actually, we are doing big protest. We are waiting for that result. After that, we are doing big protest because
I think they should come up with the result fast rather than delaying and ordering more inquiries. That was the question. Really.
Yeah, we are waiting for that result. So if we get it as soon as possible, then we will try to convey our wishes to message to world. Otherwise, we will protest. That is sure.
Yeah, but citizens of Bangalore saying that they would protest really if there is no speedy action really as far as the Ireland government is concerned on this entire issue.
Now, Madhav, just going back to they are holding a lot of banners around. What is it that they are actually demanding at this point in time? Because you have to let them know that these protests are not just in Bangalore. There are protests in Delhi, there are protests in London, there are protests in Dublin. It's become a global outrage, mainly because Ireland being a Catholic nation and the fact of the laws, the archaic laws. But in this case, Savita was neither Catholic nor was she Irish. So shouldn't they have treated her differently, especially when they knew that her life was in danger?
Exactly. In fact, that's what we're going to be asking a lot of the people really over here. They have been expressing, and if you can see in the various banners that are actually out here, really what's written is that human life is the greatest gift given by God. In the name of religion, one can't ignore it really to save another human being, which is really in a sense the crux of all the protests that have been taking place. That while religion may talk about saving the life of a baby, it certainly doesn't talk about taking the life life of a mother. Let's just ask one of the persons here. Sir, as far as this entire issue is concerned, the Ireland government has already ordered 2 inquiries. Now they're saying another international inquiry into this entire matter is to be ordered. Do you think they're just buying time to delay, action in this entire process?
Yes, that is what they are doing it. They should not postpone making this inquiry committee, they should apologize and they should, all the damages, they should pay to our family and also they must promise, the whole world should promise this kind of things should not be happen anywhere, and I am very strongly condemn what Ireland has done is very, very bad, and it is a human thing. Doctor work is always save the patient. Whatever it may be, they have to save the people. Rules and regulation is afterwards. They failed their work, they failed their duty, they failed their responsibility. It's a very condemn. I am very strong word. I condemn this.
Also, protests are taking place in different parts of the world, in London, in Dublin, not just in Bangalore. What would you like to say to the protesters across the world who are protesting on this issue, that they should continue this fight until the laws in this matter are changed?
The world, all over the world are protesting. This is very, very bad. This should not be repeated anywhere again. The world has been condemned the Ireland action, and this is even UK, America, all countries are condemning. Even Japan has condemned, Korea has condemned, India has made a very strong protest. India has made a very strong protest, and I think they will realize, and they must pay damages. But the family, they have to pay very high damages. This is my appeal, and this is my this one. Yeah.
There you have it as far as these protests is concerned, saying that they appeal to the people across the world really until there is change really as far as the law is concerned. Really, they should not rest and continue their protest into this entire matter.
It is time to speak up for Savita.
The child has the right to live, but what about the mother's right to live?
If India doesn't, then who will?
No religion mandates that you watch a woman dying and you refuse to give her an abortion, which is what she needed.
सब में इस बात का आक्रोश भी है कि डॉक्टर्स ने अपने हिपोक्रेटिक ओथ का उल्लंघन करते हुए इस महिला की मदद नहीं की है.
Justice for Savita, a Times Now campaign.
We go back to Bangalore, where we are seeing a candlelight protest and protesters taking to the streets demanding justice for Savita. Madhav Das is down there with the entire group of people. And Madhav, the latest coming in that the entire inquiry process seems like it's a sham and there is just delaying tactics from the Irish authorities. Also, all the fact that what were the doctors doing? Were they not aware of a 20-year-old ruling which was there, which gave them a window, according to law, to save the life of Savita? Why didn't they still do it? And still, so far, there is nobody who's owned up to the fault. There's nobody who's come up and said, we took the decision. Who are they trying to shield?
Exactly. Let's just ask the people who are gathered here on this entire issue. Sir, what do you feel on this issue? The doctors not taking action. There were provisions in law in which they could have taken the operation, conducted the operation, but that was not done. What do you feel about this entire issue?
परसों हुआ ये इंसिडेंट में तो सविता अल्लाप्पा जी को उधर कोई तो कैथोलिक का रूल्स नहीं, उसको कोई रूल्स नहीं बिना के उसको अबॉर्शन करने के लिए डॉक्टर्स रेडी होना था, मगर उधर कैथोलिक का रूल्स आगे सेंटर में है कि उनका जान जाने के लिए आज कारण हुआ, क्योंकि आज कैथोलिक में कोई वो कैथोलिक कैस्ट का नहीं है और एक आयरलैंड का वोटर नहीं है, वो तो इंडिया वाला है.
क्या करना चाहिए था आपके?
डॉक्टर से उसको इमीडिएट ऑपरेशन करके अबॉर्शन करके बच्चा मर गया और बच्चा बाहर निकल के सविता जी को बचाना था, वो मेन डॉक्टर का काम था.
आपका क्या कहना है? Anyway, a large number of protesters who are gathered here really over here on this issue, the continuing of course to protest on this issue, saying of course that as far as they are concerned, they feel that doctors should have taken appropriate action really at the adequate time and ensured really that as far as they are concerned, that as far as Savita is concerned, that her health condition at least does not suffer to the extent that she actually went ahead and lost her life.
Madhav, I'll come back to you in just a bit. We've got Ranjana Kumari, social activist, with us, but we're also taking our viewers' calls who are picking up the phone, calling in and speaking out. Dr. Deep Shah calling us from Kolkata. Yes, Dr. Shah.
Yeah, I know Savita as my college mate. She was a very, very good person, and I'm extremely angry, sad, and I feel hopeless that how can such a country which calls itself developed as a medical in providing medical facilities for people can do such things with a doctor itself. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, how can people just treat somebody? I mean, where is the concept of human rights? Haven't they read all the books in medical ethics? I'm sorry to say, but I'm really troubled. If this is the way people are treated abroad, I mean, specifically in Ireland, better not to go there for any medical treatment as such.
Thanks for calling in and thanks for sharing your thoughts. We've got another caller calling in from Chennai. Go ahead, please.
Thanks for calling in and thanks for sharing your thoughts.
We're standing by for a caller from Chennai. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Madam, please. I'm a Dutch national. I come from Europe. And what I see here happening to a young woman in Ireland, where people are still fighting seemingly between Catholics and Protestants, it's absolutely shameless. Her husband should take this up to the European Court and find justice and get justice.
Thank you for calling in. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. We will try and go back to Madhav in just a bit. A quick comment from Ranjana Kumari. We are getting... Right, Ranjana ji, I'll come to you in a bit. Madhav down on ground in Bangalore where the protests are going on. Madhav, have you been able to speak to more people? And even as they come out to protest, you have to give them the update that this is what the Irish authorities are trying to do. They're trying to delay and dodge the entire process. And they're pushed to declaring the terms of inquiry for international inquiry till tomorrow.
Right, sir, even as we discuss this entire issue, there is, the entire aspect that there was a 20-year-old ruling in which, doctors were allowed, they could go ahead and conducted this procedure, in this kind of a situation. Yet the doctors didn't do that. So that is a huge violation as far as the doctor's care is concerned.
Yes, it's a huge violation. They have not done their duty. There is a duty to protect. Any patient goes to hospital, the duty of the doctor is to...
Which caller set are you using?
Give her protection. All the treatment they should give. They know the whom the child is very big problem. He is dying. When they knows everything. By scanning they know it. But in spite of that they didn't want to operate and take out the womb. This is very, very bad. It's almost killing a woman. You are failing in your duty as a doctor. It's a condemn. I am very strong words. I am condemning this. The doctor has failed their duty and they have killed her. This is the very, very bad situation. Whole world is condemning. They must change the law immediately. They should not repeat this kind of things anywhere, any world. This is a lesson for the world, I will tell you. This is very, very bad. They must give a heavy compensation to their family and they apologize. They should come to go to their house and apologize and for all their acts. The Consulate General of Ireland should come here and apologize. This is very...
Sort of compensation. How should the matter be taken up legally, do you feel?
That is our... the family also should take up and our External Affairs Minister also should take up. This is a humanitarian. They should come forward. We should not... It's not a demand. It's their duty. I feel they should give the compensation. This is a very, very bad situation. And I condemn it very strongly in all words. Thank you.
They create, in fact, really outraged people over here, saying that as far as this entire protest is concerned, and even as far as this entire episode is concerned, the fact that, doctors really did not live up to really what they were supposed to do in their entire oath, also really not providing adequate care to Savita, ignoring really the care that should have been given, and thus, in the process, actually leading really to Savita's death, saying that adequate compensation should also be given to the family. It's really a function of what the family members really want to do and what the government really supports them in this entire matter, saying that a serious case really of callousness on part of the doctors over there at that hospital in Ireland.
It is time to speak up for Savita.
The child has the right to live, but what about the mother's right to live?
If India doesn't, then who will?
No religion mandates that you watch a woman dying and you refuse to give her an abortion, which is what she needed.
सब में इस बात का आक्रोश भी है कि डॉक्टर्स ने अपने हिपोक्रेटिक ओथ का उल्लंघन करते हुए इस महिला की मदद नहीं की है.
Justice for Savita, a Times Now campaign.
This show brought to you by Canon PowerShot. We make Diwali